Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So in terms of QR, a lot of people were asking about a video going over some of the best kind of tips and techniques and tricks for QR. But what I thought I would do is I would upload a series of questions, each of which you can kind of see ways in which I found shortcuts in order to do questions faster. Okay, as opposed to doing one video where I only cover a couple of questions, but obviously otherwise the video would be too long. I thought that I would upload questions as and when I find them, each of which have different kind of ideas behind them, which could be really, really useful. Okay, so first one is this question. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to pause right now, have a go at this question, and let me know when you get the answer. You can put it in the comments below. Okay, so pause it right now and then I'll go through it in a bit. Okay, so let's go through this question. So it says the table shows the weights of different boxes in a storeroom. If a weight of 6 kg is added to box A, B, C, and D, by how much will the mean weight of the boxes increase? Okay, so from an initial standpoint, it looks like a fairly simple question. So all you have to do is add all of these values up together. So 34.5 plus 45 plus 33.8 plus 42 plus 46.8. So that gives me 202.1. Then you divide it by that number by 5. So divide that number by 5 and you get 40.42, which is going to be the old mean. But then it says a weight of 6 kg is added to boxes A, B, C, and D. So we're going to do 202.1 plus 24 kg, because that additional 24 kg comes in, because 6 kg in 4 boxes. And once again, divide by 5. So this time it becomes 202.1 plus 24, which is 226.1, divided by 5, which becomes 45.22 kg. Okay, so 45.22 minus 40.42 equals 4.8 kg. Because remember, we were asking how much does the mean weight of the boxes increase? So the increase is 4.8 kg. But I didn't put this question on here intentionally just so I can take you guys through a simple mean question. No, I did it because there's a trick behind this question. You can actually do this question in 10 seconds. Okay, so once again, I invite you guys to pause, see if you can think of a faster way of doing this question, and then I will go through it. Okay, so let's go through this. In order to understand the faster way of doing this question, what you have to understand first of all is a little bit about what's going on. So what are we being asked to calculate? So there's a mean, and what is the mean? It's the sum of all the values divided by the number of values. Okay, but we're not being asked to calculate the new mean, no. We're being asked to see how much the mean weight increases. So we're being asked to calculate a change in the mean. Okay, so for those of you who may not be aware of the symbol, so triangle or delta as we call it is the symbol that represents change, so change in something. So here it's change in mean. So in order for there to be a change in the mean, there either has to be a change in the sum or there has to be a change in the number of values. But if you have a look here, the number of values stays the same. The number of boxes that we have stays the same. We still have 5 boxes. But what does change? The sum. So therefore the change in the mean is due to the change in the sum. And how much does the sum change by? It changes by 6 times 4 kilograms. 6 kilograms times 4 boxes. And what's the number of values? It's still 5 boxes. 24 divided by 5 is 4.8 kg. So you can see a one-step problem. Okay, whereas if we did it the proper way, and you guys obviously can't see me, but I'm using inverted speech marks here, but using the proper way, it would have just taken us way longer. And so the point that I want to illustrate with not only with this question, but all the other questions that I'm going to release in this upcoming series is going to be that there are way, way faster methods of doing questions. But often, so even on like Medify on the official website, so this is a question from the official UCAT website, they won't show you this method of doing it. Okay, because they're going to show you the proper way of working it out. But you guys have to take a moment to yourselves, ask yourselves, okay, this took me quite long. Was there a better way of doing this? Is there a faster way of doing this? And you have to do your best to try and figure it out. Okay, so I hope this method makes sense. Obviously, like I said once again, the questions that I'm going to go through, it's not like you're going to be able to use it word for every question. Perhaps there's one question that might come up similar to it. But the point that I want to illustrate is that there are definitely shortcuts and faster ways to do questions. And if you guys haven't checked out my tax brackets videos yet, you'll definitely see on there as well. There's a bit of a shortcut with those questions as well. So if this is the first time to the channel, I would really recommend you guys to go and check out some of my other videos, especially on decision making, as I've uploaded a load of them. Okay, cool. So let's go on to the second question. Another averages question. So a city hosts a children's festival every year. The festival had 5 events in year 1, and the total number of children who participated in all the events was 344,250. There were 6 events in year 2, and the average number of children who participated in all the events was 12% greater than the average number in year 1. What was the total number of children who participated in all the events in year 2? Okay, great question. Seems fairly self-explanatory. Okay, so maybe once again, if you guys want to pause it, have a go, and then you can unpause it and I'll talk you through the answer. Okay, so we're asked to find the total number of children who participate in all the events in year 2. Well, in year 1, it says there's 5 events and the total is 344,250. And it tells us there were 6 events in year 2 and the average number of children who participated was 12% greater. So it's perhaps a little bit confusing, the stuff that we have going on here. So we have year 1, we have year 2, we have the sum, the total number of children who participated, we have the average per event, and then we have the number of events. Okay, so by the way, by average in this question they're talking about the mean. Okay, so the festival had 5 events in year 1 and the total number of children who participated was 344,250. So to work out the average, you simply do 344,250 divided by 5, and that gives us 68. It gives us 68,000. Sorry, my calculator's messing up. 68,850. But what do we know? The average number of children who participated in all the events was 12% greater in year 2 than in year 1. And there's 6 events in year 2. You can see there's 6 events in year 2, and the average number of children who participated in all the events was 12% greater. So you multiply this by 1.12. And remember, this is what we're trying to find out. We're trying to find out the total number. So 6880 times 1.12 is 77,112. So in order to work out x, all we have to do is multiply these two numbers together. And that gives us 462,672. Okay? Answer C. So once again, you guys are probably thinking, why have I put this question in here? Well, I've put this question in here to highlight that the UCAT is about getting the answer. It's not about the method. Once again, you can do this question in 10 seconds if you think about what's happening here. Okay? So I'm just going to get rid of some of these numbers for just a second. We're asked to calculate x, which is the sum, which you figure out by multiplying the average by the number of events, right? So let's have a look at year 2. In year 2, the average is greater, and the number of events is greater as well. Okay, and you guys are probably thinking, oh, but you didn't calculate the average in year 2. Like, that wasn't given to you. You had to work it out because you had to multiply by 1.12. Okay, fine. Let's say even if you hadn't worked it out, you would still know that it's greater because it's 12% greater than in year 1, and the number of events is greater as well. So since your sum is equal to average times the number of events, and you know that both your average is greater and your number of events is greater as well, then your overall sum must also be greater. Look at the answer options. If in year 1 you had 344,250 and you know your overall sum is greater, there's only one answer that can ever be right. All the others are too low. So without doing zero maths, okay, so by doing zero maths, literally no calculations necessary, just a bit of thinking, you can actually get to the answer Z. And I appreciate that this one is a lot harder to find than the last one, but the point that I wanted to really illustrate here is it's not necessarily about perfect method. Do whatever you need to do to get to the answer. And like I said, I appreciate this is really hard, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't have found this if I wasn't actively looking for like little tips and tricks. But there are things in there, like I said. And so I think the one before is definitely more gettable than this one. But once again, I just wanted to draw your attention to it. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, awesome. So like I said, I'm going to be releasing a series of videos where I find different questions that I can do this to, where I can be like, have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing it this way? And hopefully that will get you guys thinking. So and kind of like stimulating your own brain so you can take those techniques and apply it yourself. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that makes sense. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be uploading more of these over the coming days. So please, please do follow, like, subscribe, And if you do ever have any questions, or if you have any problems, or if you'd like any further contact, please do email me. My email is in my bio. And other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.